Demands for Trump removal grow as fascist speech condemned as declaration of war against U.S. public. If you haven't noticed by now, Trump does not give a single fuck about you or about your family. He will literally tear gas you so he can have his picture take while awkwardly holding a Bible, and not even go into the church. This is a man who is a racist, sexual predator, who has told states to dominate protesters, and they are listening. Just watch some of these videos of police brutality during anti-police brutality protests and you will see it. This man is a cancer not only to America, but the entire world. Edit to add, this post blew up so big and so fast that I can't keep up with the comments. Just want to remind you to please vote this clown out in November. My husband's family is Libyan and he lived there for quite some time under Gaddafi. He says Trump constantly does things that are almost exactly like Gaddafi. Photo ops, demanding praise, making sure his name is associated with stimulus checks, threatening retaliation, and demanding acquiescence before providing government support. It all screams of dictatorship and fascism. I don't understand how his supporters or the GOP can just ignore all this. Isn't the right all about less government involvement? You fucking flip out of Costco violates your rights by asking you to wear a cloth on your face, but someone literally creating a police state and shooting at you on your property deserves your unwavering support? These people make me sick. Editing to say, thanks for the awards. And I'm getting an uncomfortable amount of comments like look at Libya now. And Gaddafi was a smart, good guy. He wrote books. Okay, first I didn't compare the two countries at all. Libya is struggling for sure. I was comparing the actual men and their narcissistic, pathological tendencies craving fame and power. Trump idolizes dictators. It's clear he loves Putin. Our democratic process is the only thing keeping him in check. Second, are you kidding me with this shit? Defending Gaddafi, listing his good deeds for me? He lived in a golden palace, his people suffered under the sanctions he brought on the country, they were scared to speak out against him for fear of the retribution that often followed. He did good things and the country advanced. Okay, a parent raises a child and provides basic care, food etc. to them. But the parent is a narcissistic psycho who manipulates the kid, beats them, doesn't give them tools or support for a good future. Is that parent a good parent? And he wrote books. Hitler wrote Mein Kampf. Did that make him a good guy? WTF? Trump thinks he can command the US military to kill Americans. There may be some generals that disagree. Republicans killing Americans protesting is not a good look for re-election. After all, this November, it's all about Trump. Vote. Org. https://www.vote.org/win. https://www.mobilize.a/Joe Biden/hope. Trump declared war yesterday when he attacked peaceful protesters with a small army so he could take a picture in front of a church. It's on. Fascists declared open war on the US public 50 years ago and we haven't done shit about it except lean into it and spend a few billion every year in support of it. Backed into a corner after his incompetence and distrust in science was trampled by a virus that's killed 105,000 Americans, compounded by 40 million unemployed, and now massive, chaotic protests over the police brutality and racism that he has nurtured instead of combating, the President of the United States declared war on the American people. So much. This. When fascism comes to America. https://imager.com/hv69feg, https://imager.com/hv69feg. Trump praised China for their response to the Tiananmen Square protest. He was impressed by how they showed strength and power. The anniversary of Tiananmen Square is June 4th. This is Trump's Tiananmen Square and it's going to get a lot worse. Edit. Corrected Tiananmen Square anniversary date from June 5th to June 4th. This isn't about politics anymore. In 2016, you could look at Trump and say you liked him for the wall or draining the swamp and feel it was good for America. I'd disagree, but we could still grill some burgers together. Now, if you support that man, you are saying that your petty political leanings and misguided strategies for a better America are greater and more important than the basic liberties America was founded on, those First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, of the press, of assembly. If you support Trump over the country, you are the enemy of the American people. And someone had the nerve to reply to me a couple of weeks ago that this man is not an authoritarian. Removed. My son was on Instagram this morning, and as I passed by him in our kitchen I noticed a lot of black boxes. I don't have Instagram, I barely remembered that I had a Reddit account. I asked him why there were so many and he said that it was a blackout for BLM. 9 states have primaries today, including my own. As I waited in line to vote this morning, my mind kept coming back to the black screens, and I was hoping people remembered that during this period of unrest and with hatred running rampant, that this is still an election day in 9 states and every vote will matter today. If we're truly sick and tired of the systemic hate and we're ready to unify against racism, we'd better be out in droves voting in the change. Trump needs to be removed now, because after the massacre it will be too late. We're already after the constitutional massacre. The massacre was when Mitch McConnell stole a SCOTUS seat from Obama and turned the impeachment into a farce. Excuse my ignorance as a Canadian, but how does Trump get removed now? I hear a lot of people say vote, but that seems almost too long for change during this time. Not yet. He's still useful. Moscow Mitch, Putin. We had a chance to get ahead of this months ago, when he was impeached, but the GOP shut that down. Every step of the way the people have called him out, but one party stood in the way. They all need to be removed, the sooner the better. Vote blue. He started locking up innocent children at the southern border and separating them from their families, but a lot of y'all thought he wouldn't do it to you. This man and everyone who supports him are evil to the core. Fuck Susan Collins. Every person in every level of government who understands Trump must be removed, must unite and act now. They must have the Joint Chiefs issue a statement that Trump does not have the power to order them deployed on U.S. soil and that they will refuse such an order. That has to happen now. Congress and every other legislative body in the country that are allies must censure Trump. That has to happen now. There are smarter people than me. But these people must act now. He should have been removed last year when they basically proved collusion with the Russians, but everyone fucking ignored it. Getting Trump out of office right now would solve most of the problems and make a few of them much worse. I think we'd be much better off with the latter. UK News Junkie here. Can someone please reassure me that there is a way of getting this Hitler cosplayer out of power, or is it going to take guerrilla warfare to throw him out? If it's the latter, I'll take a fucking draft boat across the Atlantic to fight him and those ducking militias. America cannot fall to fascism. This is on Republicans. They can remove him now if they wanted to. Remove this traitor from office now. Listening to the speech, it just reminds me of stuff like V for Vendetta or Fahrenheit 451. There were buzzwords that seemed to be just inserted in there, but the overall message is pretty damn clear. Trump acts in a way that is very similar to how our president here in Chile acted during the riots last year. He said that we were at war with a powerful enemy. It's honestly sad to see how similar the experience in both countries is becoming, even if it started for different reasons. Here in Chile around 400 people lost their eyes because of unjustified police violence, and it's on the president. He's the criminal that allowed that to happen. It's wrong. And at the same time, the fact that it's so similar confirms that we were not wrong to feel what we felt and act how we acted, and neither are you guys. Something needs to change, and I think we'll soon start to realize that the issues are deeper and bigger than we thought.